Alright guys, so today is my day off, and I put the SN95 with my kid. We put the SN95 up on the trailer. I didn't get all the footage, but I got a little bit of it. And today I want to get the spindles off of it and the rotors. They're 4 lug and they're for 4-cylinder, but I might, the notch right now has those, so I might need them. So I'm just going to save them. And, you know, unless I do a major upgrade with the brakes, I could very well pretty easily need those, so I'll keep them. And then, so today I'd also like to get done the roll bar. I read the rules, and I got a picture of it, of the specific rule I read, that 5 inches below the top or less, and the door bars are not that close to the top, so I gotta have the rear bars in order to be legal at the track. So that was a little bit more work than I was wanting to do to it. I wanted to just leave it like it is, because there's a lot of welding involved, and I just was wanting to be able to move it from the vert to the notch, and with those bars welded in, I'm not going to be able to do that. But after reading those rules, now I pretty much have to just, that roll bar is going in the convertible, that roll bar is staying in the convertible. And even if even when I take the 408 and put it in the notch, that's going to happen one day, the 351 that I build for the convertible, which would be less horsepower, will still be fast. So it'll still need a roll bar if I want to be safe. And it'd still be fast enough to take to the track. I mean, it might be like a 14-second car or something, but it's still, you know, I mean, it's still pretty quick for a street car. And, you know, if you wind up rolling it over. So I'm just going to leave the roll bar in there for safety reasons. It's a convertible, so they should have a roll bar. And so the next thing that I want to do after the roll bar and is probably do the spindles. But then the next thing after that would be the wheels. I just got some weld wheels on Facebook, and they got the skinny tires in the front and the back, but they're 4-lug. So I got a friend of mine had some, and I bought them from him, and they're for V8 spindles, which is what's on the vert. So that's why I couldn't use the spare stuff I had, because they're not the same. There's a difference between a V8 spindle and a V6 spindle. So I'm gonna put those rotors on the vert so that I can put the weld wheels on the vert. And if I get that far today, I'll be surprised, because I'll probably get concentrating on that roll bar, and we'll be doing the roll bar. But in a future video, probably you're going to see that. So stay tuned and like and subscribe and click the bell. You know, if you find this interesting at all. I know I'm just a little guy in a little garage, and I'm not like them people with a million subscribers or whatever, probably not really nearly as exciting. But if you're interested at all in my project, give it a like and subscribe. So here's the wheels I'm going to put on. I'm going to get them polished up. Hopefully this stuff will come off. You can kind of see that there's some wax left on there from the guy before me. The tread on these little ones isn't bad. The tires are a little bit old. I think 2002 or something. I don't remember what it was. But these tires are kind of old too. But they got tread on them, and they're not exactly slicks, so they're the ET Street ones, so they're kind of probably street strip or something. So you got this buildup of wax, so I'll have to polish that. I got a polisher, so it'll probably be in a video. And that's the other one. So that's the wheels and the tires, and those are going to be going on soon. Well, that's just flipping great. God. And I was gonna go and mess with it, but I was like, no, it'll go down without me messing with it. You can see me stop and pause and say, maybe I should mess with that a little bit. And then I didn't. Now I gotta spend a fucking couple $100 on a window. That's just awesome. Clips right here. I'm not sure exactly how this. See, there's a clip here and one over here. I'm not sure if it bolts in or what. But breaking the window sure made it easier to get to it. So guess what's coming back out now? Yep, the seats. All right, this right here is a reinforcement plate. It's bent specifically for this. And it goes right here, and it's not bent perfect because that's touching the back and the back now, so it's a little bit off. But I can probably fill that in or bend the plate, I guess. And then right there's a plug that has to be popped up and moved out of the way. And those wires probably got to be moved because another plate has to go right here. So I'm gonna grind and clean this up. And here, these two need to be cleaned. I'm not sure why, but they grinded this, so I guess that maybe they're welding this, but I didn't see them say anything about removing these rivets. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to weld this in and remove the rivets or not. So the picture on the instruction, if you look real close, there's rivets there. You probably can't see them in the picture, but in the instructions it seems like they leave the rivets there. So I'm not quite sure why they clean that up, because it kind of shows that they clean it out. So let's clean it up. Alright, so step 11 does say that I have to weld from here up to here. So these rivets aren't going to be necessary anymore. They probably grinded them out at some point, but it's not in the pictures and they don't really mention it. See, I guess I should have read the instructions all the way through before I made this video, but I'm just not like that. They do drill out the rivets when they're done. So I'll just go step by step. So before I go and try to weld on the car, I just got a new welder. It's not new, it's used, but courtesy of my brother's girlfriend, Christine. She had one laying around and she thought it'd get better use here, and it is getting good use here. So I'm gonna set that welder up and get to know it, and I'm gonna set up a little weld table here and get some scrap metal and kind of get that thing tuned in before I go messing with it on the car. Forgot where I put it. It wasn't behind the car. Put the stick welder behind the car. So that's the kind of welder it is. This is the kind of gas it came with. And got infinite settings, feels like. Sure exactly what 1, 2, 3 is on this. Probably, actually it's 3 settings. It's 3 different settings. Who knows what amperages they are. It's 30 to 100 amp output, so it's probably 50, 75, and 100 or something. And then this is to fine tune it. That's my guess. So we'll get it set up. I think it runs on 110. Where's the cord? Yep, it runs on 110. So we'll get it set up. Now, that's turned all the way up and wired all the way down. So I mean, almost 3/16 metal. So it doesn't run very hot at all. This is really thin. And that was turned all the way down. And it's still burned into it too much. But that's really thin stuff. tries to weld better vertical. So this is 4, hottest setting. I think that's 3, and that's 2, and then I changed the wire speed on that one at 2. I might be able to work with that. Must be paint smoking off in the back. I got a couple spots and it doesn't start very good, but once it gets going, it does all right. You know, I'm really not the best at this anyway, but and it's a brand new welder to me. They look better than some of the welds I've done. We'll get that grinded clean and hit some more. Well, I sure wish the whole thing looked like that. That's not bad. That one went pretty darn well. I'm not going to say I grinded that out. Did another pass on it. It looks pretty good. And I got to fix that now. So, typical me, I didn't read the instructions. You can grind those welds smooth, so grinding on those welds isn't a big deal. It says step 11, weld the backrest frame to the rear panel on both the passenger and driver's sides of the car. After welding, grind the weld smooth to the frame. So, perfectly okay. Step 12, drill out the top rivets that attach the backrest frame to the rear panel. Leave the top rivet as it will not interfere with the weld and reinforcement plates. So I'm probably just going to grind these out, punch them out. The instructions don't mention anything about having a gap down there. So they want me to drill the holes before I weld the plate in. Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They want you to drill it and bolt it together, and then drill a center hole, or not drill a center hole, there's a center hole drill. They want you to weld the back plate to the front plate, and then bolt it in, and then weld it all the way. They want you to mark the holes and remove the plate to drill. I don't know why I can't just tack the plate in, and then use the drill and just use the holes as guides and drill it like they did this other one when I put in the when I put in this roll bar that I'm not supposed to put in yet according to the instructions. That's not supposed to be even in yet when I do this, but I was trying to half-ass it or something. So I think I'm just going to tack that plate into place and then take my drill and drill the holes, and then take the back plate and put the bolts in, and then weld the back plate to the front plate, tighten the bolts, or tighten the bolts, then weld the back plate to the front plate, and then weld it the rest of the way around. Instructions say to use a straight edge right here. That's where they want it, just like that.
Check it out.
really does not like to start up. So now I gotta find a drill bit that fits. I should probably tack in this other side first so that once I get the drill out I can just drill. So that's 25/64. I use some of these bolts mounting the seats, so I don't probably have everything. Maybe it's me just trying to find the silver lining here, but reaching under in the trunk to try to get to this seat belt has proven to be kind of a pain in the butt. But right, crap, you can't see it, but right down in here. Right there. There's very little room there, but I can reach it from here, from the window. There, it's on there. Kind of a bittersweet. It's got a flat side that's short here and one that's longer here, so the short side has to go up, and then also narrow it too. Lucky me, I found some. Don't know why I couldn't find them when I was looking for them before. Probably because I had some and I didn't want to look. Finishes that up. Now all I got to do is weld. Well, it's ugly. It's in solid. I mean, it ain't coming off, I'm sure. They really messed up here. And
I couldn't tell it, you know, if it was me or the welder or probably both. This one I did a little better on. That one I ended up having to make wide passes and stuff. I don't know if the welder was getting hot or what, but down here I winded up blowing some holes in it, and I had to fill them in and grind them, and that's why it's all grinded. But I'm kind of just tired of the whole thing now. It's welded in, and I still gotta put these in, but these gotta cool down, and I can take the bolts out and then put the other plates on and then start fitting the pipe, which I'm at this point pretty scared to weld. Okay, things were moving fairly quickly. Trying to get this figured out, and I wasn't able to keep the camera going, so I didn't want to keep moving it. I kind of got in a hurry. So here's the situation. I measured from here to here, and it was 3/4 of an inch difference from this side to that side. That was 3.5, and this was like 4 1/4. So I took hold on, let me find it. I took about that much out, 3/4 of an inch about, the grinder, and then this was too short because the bar was kind of wanting to twist or whatever, so this bar over here was holding it out. So I had to get this chain fall and pull it back that way 3/4 of an inch after I cut this, and now they match, and they're about in the same spot. That one's there and that one's there, and I'm having some really serious issues with my welder. I know it's the welder because I've welded at work better than this with a better welder, so it's got to be the welder. I just can't get it to work right. So now I'm gonna try to tack these in best I can, and then I'll probably call it a day because it's about dinner time. I just put this on here to watch while I talk. When I, very end of the video there, one of the bars fell off. It's because the welder that I was using wasn't getting very good penetration and those tacks didn't hold. So what I did was I bolted it back down because I had it unbolted, and I grinded all those welds off, and now I'm just going to start over with a different welder. Probably going to try the Miller welder next time. Have a good day.